without a doubt, top of Sunderland's Santa list for January must be a striker who can score goals. Jack, tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that, isn't it, really? I mean, we're not going to... You can't sit here and say everything's perfect and, we haven't got a problem in that area. The players... I feel like I'm repeating myself every single week on this now, but, yeah, they're still without a goal from a striker. It's an ongoing problem. Doesn't seem to be solved.
It must be so frustrating. I mean, if you think of the numbers that travel, I mean, it wasn't so long ago that you took, 2,500 plus to Swansea, battered Swansea, 0-0, could have had 4 or 5, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, back you are down at Plymouth, battered in the second half, by all accounts, and just can't do it. Was it 24 shots?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
5 on target. I mean, okay, let's. We're not going to talk about this after this video anymore, I promise. But what is it? You created the chances.
That's what it is. I mean, it's not. You can't ignore it for too long because it's becoming an issue. I mean, the last time we scored a goal from a striker was back in April. It's crazy numbers. I mean, Jack Clark created, I think, 8 chances. It's not as if we've had a problem goal scoring because we are still scoring goals, barring obviously the likes of Swansea and Plymouth, but it's just not falling with the strikers. I mean, as Rooson's had his chances, as much as I like him, I think he's a good player. Yeah, one of them's got to go in sooner rather than later. I mean, I think we did all right. We did fine. It's just another frustrating one, really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no harm in conceding the goal of the season contender, is there, for Morgan Whittaker's, and the second one wasn't too shabby either. These floating wide kicks that go straight in the corner. It's not defensively you've got any issues, is it? But you mentioned there it's becoming an issue. How much of it is having an impact on you maintaining handles on these playoff positions?
How many teams do you see do that well and get in a playoff spot and push for promotion if literally not a single striker scoring goals? Even last season when we were without one, the time we did have ones like Sims and Stewart, they still came up with, I think, 17 goals between them in their limited time. So we have lost a lot of goals from our team in that sense, but I hope it doesn't come too much over. I think we're still in a decent position. We're in and around. There's nothing we're too worried about. But we've got to see one of these chances go in sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Is there a worry then this week? Then so you're playing against Huddersfield midweek, who like to park the bus in most games, which will make it very, very hard for you. And then you're playing against a Millwall side this weekend who have just lost quite heavily at home, so likely you're going to come up against 2 very defensive sides, and you're going to have to unlock them. Otherwise, you're going to be potentially a mid-table side, aren't you?
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think that this is the thing, though. Unlocking them and beating these defences isn't really the problem, but you've got the chances in the areas. It's just putting the ball in the net, really. I mean, you put Clark in them sort of areas, he's probably going to score, but he's often the one having to create these chances. I mean, I wouldn't condone dropping Joe because he hasn't done anything wrong, but maybe just give him a rest. Put Awashish in, who's come off the bench in the last few games, done really well. Looks like a talent player, obviously scored against Birmingham. It's just, you've got a bit of selection headache potentially, but they're going to be 2 tough games. I mean, I do think we should beat Huddersfield with the greatest respect, at home as well. And even Millwall, their home form since about April and May is really, really poor. Yeah. So, again, probably a game we should win. We'll see.
Okay, striker aside then, what else does Sunderland need in the January transfer window?
My main concern would probably be a holding midfielder, but obviously we've got Corey Evans coming back from his ACL injury in around the new year, but especially with his age, you're not so sure how well he could do. I mean, at the minute you've got Ekwa, Neil, as soon as one of them's out, you're having to drop a 10 into centre midfield, and it's not really working. We need another one for a bit of competition. I mean, Ekwa hasn't had the greatest few games in a row now, So yeah, I think the priority list probably defensive midfielder number 6, but also we do need someone who's just going to put the ball in the net.
Is it nice to see Sunderland as being financially well run at the moment? I mean, it hasn't always been the case, has it?
This is I mean, I was talking to someone today. Obviously, like it was only 2 or 3 years ago that we were in League One getting beat off Burton Albion and Shrewsbury. If someone goes to you, right, but in 2 years you'll have just come back off the back of a season, finishing the playoffs in your first season of the Championship, and now you sat 9th going into December, but you've just lost 2-0 to Plymouth. You're not going to be bothered about that. You take that all day. I mean, the way we've been run, it's fantastic. There's going to be blips. Not everything's going to go perfectly, but yeah, this is the best time I've ever watched Sunderland in my life.
Yeah, they're definitely exciting to watch. Of the few games I've seen them this season, they're always a cracking watch. All right, let's get a prediction then. Heading to the Den, back on your travels to the south, I'm afraid, this weekend. Predictions: Millwall, Sunderland.
Another long one, but we'll obviously Wednesday could play into it, but we're just talking Saturday now. If you tell me now Saturday, I think we could win that. I would say 2-1. I think we can win that game.
Yeah, they're very fragile at home, aren't they, Millwall? Listen, Jack, I really appreciate it. I know you're tired back from your trip back to Plymouth. Thanks for taking the time out to see us. We'll catch up with you next week. Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Nice one.